Hello everyone, and welcome to the Commander's Forge. I am Andy Bentley, and here at the Commander's Forge, it's an area for me to talk about Magic, Commander, and anything else that I feel is important. Now, today I want to go over some of my hopes for Magic's return to Kamigawa. Because one of the things I fear is with them returning with the one block or one set block, they're not going to be able to fit the diverse creature types that were in the original Kamigawa block. What I mean by this is, in addition to creature types, there are job types as well. So you have humans, demons, goblins, foxes, spirits, and I'm sure I'm missing a few. But then on top of that, you have ninjas, samurai, monks, wizards, and I'm sure I'm missing a few. So, what I mean to say is, I really hope they do their best to represent the original creature types in the new set. And I get that the set is based 2,000 years after the last set, so it's very far into the future. But I would like to see how, monastic traditions have survived through the ages, how samurai do anything in this day and age. It's just a thought process on my part. You see, I started playing Magic back in 2011. And I didn't really get into Magic until about 2014. That said, one of the sets I was always a little bummed that I missed out on when I talked to my cousin about sets that they had played was the original Kamigawa block, because I've always, let's face it, it's ninjas and samurai. What's not to like? And sure, some of the mechanics were a little wonky, but I like wonky. I like weird stuff. And sure, I doubt they're going to bring the hand size matters cards into it. And if they do, it'll only be a couple of cards. But I would like to see a return of Bushido. It's a very basic mechanic that I think could still work. And I think they've proven that ninjutsu still works and is a very popular mechanic. I just hope they don't focus so much on one thing that other things get left out. And for the love of God, can we get a multicolored samurai commander? Please. Mardu colors. Please, just in Mardu colors. And I'll talk a little more about my hopes for that in the second part of this podcast after I kick it to my little middle advert. I'll be right back.
Hey, did you know that for as little as $1 a month, you can help support this podcast? All you have to do is go to patreon.com/commandersforge, and that is CMDR_forge. That's that's it. That's all I got to say about it. If you want to help support the podcast, you can go there.
And welcome back. Now, I want to expand a little bit on what I want from the new Kamigawa set. And that includes the commander decks that are going to be included, because I'm sure Wizards is going to continue that practice. And I think that's going to give us the best opportunity to get new cards depicting the brothers Yamazaki. Now, the brothers are literally the same card with two different arts, and they had a special clause that said as long as you control exactly two brothers Yamazaki, the legend rule didn't apply to them. I would love to see them in a commander product as partners. And I mentioned earlier, like, I would like to see Mardu Samurai. I feel like we could make one of the brothers black-red, and then make the other brother white-red. Give them partner. That would give you a partner combo to use as commanders. And it's just something that I personally would love to see. And I would not be surprised if we did not see it. But I digress. The other thing is, I really hope, with this set being set 2,000 years into the future of Kamigawa, and it's supposed to be like a good future, not necessarily dystopian, I would like to see descendants of past legendary creatures, or like their line continued. Things like Iwamori of the Open Fist is a monk that when it comes into play, everyone can put a legendary creature into play. I'd like to see a play on that. Or Sachi, daughter of Sashiro, is a snake archer. I would love to see the return of the Kamigawa snake people. Azami, Lady of Scrolls, one of the most famous legendary creatures from those sets. I would love to see a descendant where maybe instead of a Lady of Scrolls, she is an information broker. Ben, Eki Hermit, is a legendary goblin. I would love to see more legendary goblins from that set that are the descendant of the older legendary goblins. Dose and the Falling Leaf is another monk. I would love to see, again, how they can carry the monastic traditions into this new Kamigawa. 8.5 Tails is a legendary kitsune, which is a fox folk. I'd love to see the return of foxes, and, you know, maybe 8.5 Tails somewhere down the line has, you know, a 12.5 Tails descendant. I don't know. It would just be something I think is cool. But again, that brings us to, like, that one issue I think we might have. There is a lot of creature types and a lot of job types from the original Kamigawa set. And I really, really would like to see how they're going to go about giving everything a fair shake. But yeah, that's kind of my my hopes for the new Kamigawa set. Obviously, we won't know more about that until, what, January of next year? I've still got 2 Innistrad sets to get through. You know, just putting it out there. But yeah, that's basically all I had to talk about Magic for now. Something interesting that I'm looking into is buying either a van or a small bus that I can convert into like a traveling command center for, traveling out to like GP Vegas or GPLA and just, maybe spending a little more in fuel, but a hell of a lot less in places to stay. And it's just, it's a crazy pipe dream at this point. But hey, if you want to help me, my Patreon link will be in my link tree. I'm still trying to pay off the tax man, so that link is in my link tree. And yeah, I guess I'll see you next time. That brings us to the end of the podcast. I would like to thank Nate and Erica Jacobs for designing my logo, and Cody Malpe and Ian Foss for allowing me to use a sample of music from their band The Crypt. The podcast can be found on YouTube by searching Commander's Forge. The podcast is Commander's Forge, that is CMDR_Forge on Twitter. I can be found on Twitter at BentzMister, that is BENTZMR. Thank you for listening. I'll see you next time, and until then, here's to fun games and sick plays.